All right. Are we live here? It looks like we are. I don't know if anybody is in here yet, so we'll hang on a couple minutes before we start talking too much. Let's see. Anybody out there? 5 people waiting. There you guys are. What's up, everybody? Glad you could join me tonight. This is going to be a real quick live stream. Not planning on making this last too long, but wanted to take the opportunity to thank everybody. As I'm sure you saw with the thumbnail and in the title of this live stream, we just hit a couple days ago. We just hit our 1,000 subscribers, so I am super pumped that this happened. I actually wish I could have done a better job of celebrating this and come with you guys and doing something fun. I have been unfortunately working a ton lately, traveling a lot, and I've just been gone. So it's been real tough for me to get on here and live stream and try to do these kind of things. So I just want to jump on real quick tonight and say thank you to everybody. I really appreciate all the support I've gotten from everyone over the last year. I just hit my channel's 1-year anniversary a couple weeks ago as well. So that was a big thing. I wasn't able to really do anything for that because I was gone. But anyways, want to take the opportunity tonight to sit here with you guys, have a drink, chat a little bit. We'll make this pretty quick, but thank you to everybody who's been watching the channel and supporting me since the beginning. I appreciate you guys so much, and I hope this just keeps continuing to grow and get bigger. And this whiskey tube community is a really cool thing, so I hope it only gets bigger too. So let's pour some whiskey. If you guys are having some whiskey tonight, put a comment there in the chat. Let me know what you guys are drinking, and we'll go over see who's in the chat room here in a second. But I thought it was appropriate for tonight to celebrate. This is kind of a dual celebration. We're celebrating our 1,000 subscribers and our 1-year anniversary, even though it's a little bit late. But I thought it was appropriate to break out my very first whiskey. Well, this is focus. Come on, camera. Let's try this. There it is. This is the very first whiskey I ever reviewed on my channel. So let me just get back a little bit here. So I thought it was only appropriate to grab this guy, pour a little bit of this whiskey, and enjoy it with you guys. This is the Elijah Craig 12-year barrel proof. This is batch, I think it was C917. Yeah, C917. So this was the very, very first review I ever did on the channel. And so I thought it'd be appropriate to celebrate with you guys. So thank you so much, everybody. Cheers to you all. And actually, I'll give you guys a little bit of a behind-the-scenes tidbit as to this actually wasn't the first whiskey I reviewed. It was the first whiskey I uploaded. And what actually happened on my very first review, that I shot was Maker's Mark Cask Strength. And so my wife had put the name in the envelope. But if you'll notice, when I open the envelopes, the paper inside is always folded. And the reason the paper inside is always folded now is because on the very first review, I had flipped the envelope over. I can't remember why I did it, but for some reason I flipped the envelope over, not to look at it, but just to turn it. And I saw the name as the flap of the envelope was open a little bit, and I saw that it said Maker's Mark. So I was like, we got to do another one. So that one went out the door. That one we got reviewed way later. And I ended up doing the review of the Elijah Craig, which worked out great. It was a great first video. It was my first video to hit 1,000 views. So, I mean, it was just a fun one to do. I'm really glad, actually, it worked out that happened. I was bummed about it at first, but it really worked out that happened. So, anyways, let's see who's in the chat here tonight. And there's a few people I want to thank, but we'll get to that in a few minutes. We got Tom R. What is up, Tom R? We got Jason from the Mash and Drum. What is up, buddy? Dan Trout. Hey, how you doing, my friend? We got Scott from My Bourbon Journey. Who else we got in here? Read all these names. I'm very glad all you could join me tonight. Thank you for all the congratulations. I appreciate it so much. It was a lot of hard work. As anybody that's ever made videos on YouTube can probably attest, this isn't an easy thing to do. It looks easy. It's not super easy, and especially when you're not really good with it. I had to learn all this stuff from the get-go. I think if you ever watched my first video of the Elijah Craig review, I talked about this is the first thing I ever did in terms of video editing was my intro. That intro with the glass, the whiskey pouring in the glass, the classical music, the flash of light, the lightning, whatever. That was the first thing I ever did. And that's been a learning experience ever since. So it's been a fun journey from there to today. And I'm not much better than I was then, but hopefully I'm doing a decent enough job for you guys. But let's see what everybody's drinking tonight. I got Joe Dawson drinking Russell's Reserve. I got Bryson M drinking Elijah Craig Barrel Proof C918. So a year later. Bryson, what do you think of that whiskey, man? Throw me a little tag me in the comments down there and let me know. I have not had the C batch of last year, but I heard it's really, really good. Jason Fisk, what's up, buddy? You just joined the chat. I'm trying to look for what anybody else might be drinking. Chad Wallace has got some Four Roses single barrel, and you can never go wrong with that whiskey. You know, I did a live stream with Blake from Bourbon, and kind of the topic of the live stream was single barrel products. And one thing we didn't really touch on that I really thought, well, we touched on it for a second, but one thing I really thought we need to hit on with that video, and we didn't really get into it too much, is that Four Roses single barrel, to me, is probably the most consistent single barrel whiskey available out there. I've never had that whiskey just varies so little bottle to bottle. It's just so consistent, so delicious, always good, and a great value. So love that whiskey. What else we got going on in here? My Bourbon Journey. Scott is drinking Elijah Craig C917, or is he answering a question? I don't know. Maybe you're drinking the same whiskey, Scott. So cheers to that. Take a sip. Anyways, guys, too, I wanted to take the opportunity to thank a few people. A couple of them are in here. And hopefully a couple of the other ones see this, but there's been a few people along the way that I've worked with and talked to and have helped me out a bunch. And I've mentioned this before. Like when I did the live stream with Scott from Scotch Test Dummies. Scott has been a huge help to me. He spent like 30 minutes with me. We chatted online, getting me set up on how to do live streams and all this stuff before I ever did my first one. So I was super appreciative of Scott from the Scotch Test Dummies. And I've mentioned this before too, but Scott from the Scotch Test Dummies was my very first subscriber to my channel too. So he'll always have a special place here on Blind Whiskey Reviews. Scott from My Bourbon Journey also, thank you, buddy. You've been helping me out along the way the entire time too. We've kind of come along together and we've done live streams together. And so hopefully we'll get another one of those going soon. So Scott, hit me up. Let's get one of those scheduled, man. We need to do that again. Another big one that I don't think the guy gets enough credit for what he does, but Swami from Malted in Montreal, he invited me to come on his channel very early on. It was a few months, 2-3 months after I started my channel, I think, if I remember right, and had me on his channel. We chatted for a bit and talked and had some drinks, and that was a really fun time. And I'm really appreciative of him for doing that. And he does that for a lot of people. Swami takes a lot of guys with new channels and that he likes. I mean, he seems to only want to bring on people that he appreciates what they're doing. He brings them on, you know, gets them a little bit of exposure that maybe they wouldn't have gotten. So appreciate him for that. Somebody I've been working with a little bit and talking to for quite a while behind the scenes is Jason from the Mash and Drum. I'm sure all of you guys have seen his channel. He's been blowing up because he does such an amazing job with his stuff. Great videos, great content. His production quality is amazing. He blows me out of the water, and he's also blowing all of us out of the water with how quickly his channel is growing. I think he's coming up on 2,000 subscribers, and he started, correct me if I'm wrong, Jason, but I think he started, what, in like July, maybe August, somewhere in there. I mean, the guy's channel's been around for like 6 months, and he's just tearing it up. So yeah, definitely, if you guys haven't checked these guys' channels out, which I doubt you haven't, but if you haven't for some reason, go check them out. Support these guys too. They're great people and a great part of this Whiskey Tube world. So thank you to everybody. If I forgot to mention you, I apologize. But yeah, everybody's awesome. So let's see what we got going on in the chat here. Yeah, Jason, we got to do a blind night. We'll do that for sure. We'll get that planned. And actually, me and Jason are working on something behind the scenes here. We've actually been going back and forth on it a little bit tonight. Don't want to tell you quite what it is yet, but I am super pumped to show it to you guys. He is a great guy, and I'm so happy he's helping me with it because I desperately, desperately needed his help. But yeah, Jason's killing it. You could say that again, Scott. Anyways, all right. Well, guys, I didn't want to stay on here too long and chat too much. I don't want to take up too much of your night. I just wanted to come on and say thank you. Have a sip of whiskey. Appreciate everyone for coming. Thank you so much for supporting the channel again. I couldn't do it without you guys. I mean, this is awesome. And the reason I started this channel was to meet people out there in the whiskey world. You know, a bunch of my friends that I have around here, they all like craft beer, but not many of them are into whiskey. So I kind of wanted to do this to reach out to people and to meet people that like whiskey. And this has been such a great experience. I've gotten the opportunity to meet so many people and swap samples and just get to know people that I never would have had the chance to meet otherwise. So it's been a great, great experience. Oh, you know, one more thing I wanted to touch on. It's been 1 year, so I figure we should get to the reason. There's a Scott from My Bourbon Journey loves to bring up the fact that I'm always wearing flannel in my videos. And I'll tell you the reason. We'll unveil the reason why for you tonight. But first, let me have a sip of whiskey here. So here we go. The big reason I wear flannel in all my videos isn't because I wear flannel all the time normally, because I don't. I enjoy wearing the flannels, and when it's cold out, I'm happy to wear them. The reason I wear flannel is because I need a button-up shirt to hang a mic on. If you look in most of my videos when I'm not doing a live stream, you'll see I have a little mic clipped on my shirt. I can't do it with a t-shirt. I didn't want to have the mic hanging out by my neck. I wanted it a little bit lower so you wouldn't hear me like swallowing and stuff. So I have a bunch of flannel, and I decided they'd be a perfect thing to wear while I'm doing this because I don't want to wear like a fancy button-up shirt. So that's the reason. Unfortunately, Scott, I wish I could tell you he likes to make fun of me because I'm in Southern California. It's warm here most of the time. We were laughing about it because when it was negative 55 degrees in Wisconsin, where Scott lives, it was 70 degrees in California. And I'm still here wearing flannel. So that's the reason I wear flannel all the time in these videos. I wish I had a better reason for you. I really hope I can make a Blind Whiskey Reviews flannel shirt that I can put out there and make for you that I can wear in these videos, because that would be so awesome. But just to talk real quickly about, I do have a fireplace, Scott. Just to talk real quickly about what's up and coming in the channel this year. I've got a lot of stuff planned. I've had a lot of stuff planned. It's just been such a lack of time trying to get this stuff done. So I'm really going to make an effort to live stream with you guys more, to get on here and interact with you guys a little bit more. I really want to go for once a month. I'm going to shoot for that. Don't yell at me if I don't, but that's going to be my goal. After I get through this jaunt of work trips that I got to get through, I'm going through the end of this month. Hopefully after that, some time will free up and I'll be able to live stream and interact with you guys a little bit more and get some more people on the channel. So that's something I definitely want to get going this year, and do a little bit more of. I've got a few new segments I've got coming up that I don't quite want to tell you about yet, but there's going to be a couple new segments coming on the channel that I'm really excited to do for you. Some stuff that's involving, whiskey paraphernalia and things like that, things, associated with whiskey, not just the drink itself. So I definitely want to do more of that for you. Just bring more content to the channel, get involved. And so, anyways, I love your guys' suggestions. I love your guys' feedback. Keep, what do we got? Blind Whiskey Review bandanas. That's a good idea too. It's all coming, fellas. It's all coming. Anyways, yeah, I love your guys' comments. I love your guys' feedback. 99% of the feedback I get is, it's great. It's either constructive. I'm not saying it's all positive criticism, but I mean, it's constructive. It's good. I've had a few negative comments out there, but those are just fun. So, anyways, guys, if you got any suggestions, you can always send me an email, blindwhiskeyReviews@gmail.com. You can always leave a comment on any of my videos, and you can always get me on Instagram on blind_reviews. I do a lot on Instagram. I don't do a lot on Twitter, but you can get me there too if you'd like to. Yeah, Blind Whiskey Review flannel. If I can make that happen at some kind of reasonable price, we're gonna do that, fellas. That's kind of my goal here. We're gonna make that, even if it's just for me. If I can make more of them, great. But if I can just make one to wear in the videos, I definitely will. But anyways, guys, that's about it for me. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate all of you once again. 1,000 subscribers. Here's to the next 1,000. Thank you all so much, and we'll catch you in the next video.